Hello and welcome to my channel Crochet and Copy. My name is Judy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cozy sock slipper. Let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to let you know that our cozy sock slipper fits woman size 5 through 7, the pattern that we're using. And when you lay them like this, the measurement comes out about 9 to 10 inches, and around the top is about 10 inches. Okay, so I just want to let you know these are supplies that we're going to be using to make our cozy sock slippers. I go over them with you. We're going to be using the Lion brand yarn. It's from Hometown, and it's the super bulky number 6, 100% acrylic, and the color is the Houston cream. We're going to be using one of these, and everything is the same brand, same everything. The only difference is the color. And then San Diego navy, we need one of those too. We're going to be using 2 different hook size. The first one is the L11, the 8.00 millimeter. Our next hook is our USK 10.5, is the 6.50 millimeter. And we're going to be using a stitch marker, a yarn needle, and lastly a scissors. And that's it for our supplies for our project. So let's get started. So for us to start, we're going to be using the smaller hook size. It's the USK 10.5, is it 650 millimeter. So that's our hook. And then we're going to start with our navy color yarn. And we're going to start with a adjustable ring. So this is how I know how to do my adjustable ring. Feel free to do it the way you're comfortable with. This is how I do it. I take the yarn, drape it over my 2 fingers, I let it fall to the back, and between my 2 fingers I pull up a loop, and now I have a circle, a tail, and to hold our adjustable ring in place, we're going to chain 1. That's it. That's to hold it. So that doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to put 6 single crochet into our adjustable ring. To do a single crochet and to go into our adjustable ring, just go into our circle, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull across 2 of them. That's it. And now, of course, because we're going to be working in a spiral, we're going to put our stitch marker in. This is to help us. So now we're going to put 6, so that's 1, so we have 5 additional we have to do. So go into your circle, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across 2 of them. That's your single crochet. You could tighten a little bit on the tail so you could work with the adjustable ring a little better, but don't pull it all the way across. I'll show you why later. Go into your adjustable ring again, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull across. So that's it. So do that for additional 3 more times and I'll meet you there. Okay, so we did that for 6 times. I'll show you how to count them with the stitch markers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a little hard, I know, to see with the darker yarn, but we're going to try our best. Okay, so now what you're going to do is tighten it up by pulling the tail. There you go. That's it. You have made your adjustable ring. So now that's for round 1. So round 2, we're going to put in each stitch around what we made from round 1, we're going to put 2 single crochet. So in that first one, take out your stitch marker, and then you're going to go right into there. The first one is a little always hard to get in, come out. So it's a single crochet again, just yarn over and pull across, 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull across. So that's 1. But remember, put your stitch marker back in. So the pattern is 2 single crochet into each stitch. Back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on your hook, and then pull across. That's it. Next one is right here. Right? You're going to put 2 in there. So yarn over, pull across, go back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up. And that's the pattern for round 2. So keep on working with that to get back to your stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next, because that's round 2. And with the completion of round 2, we're going to have 12 stitches, because for round 1 we had 6 stitches with the completion of round 1. So round 2, make sure you have your 12 stitches. I'll meet you there. Okay, so we completed, put in 2 single crochet into each stitch. We made our 12. So now take out your stitch marker, and this is to start round 3. We're going to put 1 single crochet right there. Put your stitch marker back in, and the pattern is 1 single crochet for the first stitch. The second stitch, you're going to put 2 single crochet. And that's it. And then the next stitch will be right here, right there. Try open it so you can see it. Right here, right there. So the next one will be 1 single crochet, and the next will be 2 single crochet. In that same stitch. So when you complete that, and I meet you back at the stitch marker, you're supposed to have 18 stitches. So it's 1 single crochet, the next stitch 2 single crochet. I'll meet you there. Completed that for round 3, and we have our 18 stitches. So now for round 4, take out your stitch marker, and the pattern is we're going to put 1 single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in so you don't forget where we at. So for each stitch around, we're just going to put 1 single crochet. So you're going to end off with round 4 with your 18 stitches, because we're not increasing. So keep on doing that around to get back to the stitch marker. Remember, the pattern is just 1 single crochet into each stitch. I'll meet you there. So we completed that for round 4, and we have our 18 stitches. So round 5, take out our stitch marker, and now for that first stitch, just going to put 1 single crochet. Remember to put your stitch marker back in, and then the next stitch, you're just going to put 1 single crochet, and then for the next, you're going to put 2 single crochet. So that's the pattern for round 5. I'll show you again. The first one is 1 single crochet, the next stitch 1 single crochet, and the next 2 single crochet. 1, back down into that same stitch. That's it. So for round 5 and the completion of it, you're going to have 24 stitches, because remember, you're going to put 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet. Next one will be 2 single crochet. So that's when we increase, we'll get 24 at the end of round 5. So keep on working, I'll meet you there. So that's it for round 5. Now round 6, take out your stitch marker, and the pattern is we're going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So for round 5, when you complete it, you had your 24 stitches. So now for round 6 all the way up to 16, you're going to do just 1 single crochet around. So you're going to constantly have your 24 stitches, because we're not increasing. So again, the pattern is just 1 single crochet. Okay, keep on working with that pattern and jot down where you at, because I meet you at round 16. So now we made it up to round 16. This is how we look. Looks pretty nice, I think. So now for round 17, take out your stitch marker, and then we're going to do we're going to tug 2 stitches together. So it's the tug single crochet. So I'll show you how to do it. So that stitch that we took out the stitch marker from, go into it, pull up a loop, hold those 2 loops on your hook, go into the next stitch, and then pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on our hook. To complete it, yarn over, and we're going to pull across. So those are the single, when you do a tug together with the single crochet. So it's a single 2 together. Okay, put your stitch marker back in. Okay, that's just 1 stitch now. And now for the following 14 single crochet, you're going to just put 1 single crochet. So when you complete that, I'll meet you there. So it's 14, so that was 1, 2, continue doing to 14, and I'll meet you there. So we did our 14 single crochet. So we're going to do the same thing that we did to start this round with. We're going to do the single 2 together. So we're going to put our hook into that stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, keep those 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull across 3 of them. That's it. So that's the completion of round 17. So the remaining 6 stitches that we have left, we're going to leave them on work. And now you're going to have 16 stitches that you're going to be working in, because we're going to start round 18, and we're going to do the same pattern for round 18 all the way up till we get to round 27. So I'll meet you there, but I'll show you what the pattern is. So we're going to chain 1, and a chain 1 is just yarn over and pull across. That's it. So we chain 1 and we turn our work. So now for the 16 stitches that we have, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So in that first stitch right there, 1 single crochet, and just keep on working with that pattern to get back to the stitch marker, and I'll show you what to do next. So we made it to our last stitch we're going to do right at where we had our stitch marker. So take out your stitch marker and put 1 single crochet right there, and then that will make your 16, and that's what we're going to be working with now, remember, because we're shaping the other side of our socks or slipper. So what I do with the stitch marker, I just put it to the other stitch that if we were going to work, but in front of where we had it, right there, and we leave it. I'm going to leave it right there for now, because what you're going to do to complete that, this is row 18 we're completed. So, and to start row 19, you chain 1 and you turn your work, and you're just going to put 1 single crochet till you get back over to the end, because you could tell it has that little loop on it. So 16 stitches. So work with that pattern till you get all the way to row 27. I'll meet you there. So this is how we look so far when we get up to row 27. Coming out very nice. So for round 28, I already chained that 1 and I turned my work. So now for the first 6 stitches, we're going to put just 1 single crochet. Okay, so just do that for 6 times and I'll meet you there. So we did those 6 single crochet. So now we're going to single crochet 2 together. I'm going to tug them. So that's 1, and then go into that next stitch, 2. So you have 3 loops, remember, and then pull across 3 of them. So that's 1. So we're going to do the same thing. Go into that stitch, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull across. That's it, the single crochet 2 together. And then for the additional 6 stitches we have, we're going to just put 1 single crochet, and I'll meet you there when you finish that. So keep on working with that pattern. So for the completion of round 28, we have 14 stitches. So now we're going to turn our work so it's like facing us, because we're going to slip stitch from to up to this one, from here to there. Slip stitches just go into that stitch on the top right there. So hold your yarn and you're going to go in there. I know it's hard to see because it's a dark yarn, and then pull, you see you have a loop on your hook, you're going to pull it across this one too, and that's a slip stitch. Give it a little tug so it stays in place, and that's for the completion of round 28. And that's how it looks. Made the opening and we did the heel. So now we're going to start working on the top of our socks slippers. So what you're going to do is chain one, and since we're working, call it the cuff area, we're going to start new rounds. So this will be starting off round 1. So turn it, and now try my best to show you as best as I can, because what we're going to do is we're going to put 31 single crochet on the top. Okay, so make sure you do 31 right there, and then it's just a single crochet. And of course I want to show you, remember a stitch marker, because we're starting new rounds now. You put that stitch marker right here. That's our first one. So make sure you do 31 evenly around, and when you get here I'll show you what to do next, okay? But let me see if I could show you as best as I can where to put the 31. So that was 1, going here, 2, there's a spot right here, 3, 4, then right here, 5, and the next one, see right there, 6. And then when you get to the corner right here, you put 1 in there too, okay? And then continue over here. So you're going to put 1 here, and then continue going over here. And the top you could see, because you still have that rows of a single crochet. All right, so 31 evenly, and I meet you back here. So we completed round 1 with 31 stitches. So now for round 2, take out your stitch marker. For that first stitch right there, we're just going to put 1 single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in. And this is the pattern we're going to do for 3 times. So when you finish doing it 3 times, I'll meet you back. But let me show you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to do 4 single crochet, and now we're going to single crochet 2 together. So go into that stitch, pull up a loop, next stitch, and pull up a loop, and then pull across. So that's 1. Again, another 2 stitch together, single crochet, go into that stitch, and then go into the next, and then pull across, and you tug them. So that's it for the pattern. So do that for 2 more times, and I'll meet you then. I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we did that pattern for 3 times. So now for 4 stitches, we're going to put 1 single crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to single crochet 2 together, and that's it. And then the last stitch right there, you're going to put 1 single crochet. But here is where we're going to change to the new color yarn, so I'll show you how to do that. So to change to the new color yarn, we have to start the stitch that we're going to work here, the last one, the single crochet. So just pull up the loop, and to change the color yarn, we're not going to complete that single crochet. We get our new color yarn, and remember the cream, and we're going to just put a loop on our hook, and then we're going to pull across to complete that single crochet. And that's how we change our color. I like to give it a nice little tail, so we could tuck it in later. And then of course you drop the old color yarn and then you start working with the new color yarn. That's how we change color. And here too is where we're going to switch from the small hook to the large hook. It's the L11, the 8.00 millimeter. Okay. So for the completion of round 2, we change the color for yarn, we change the color for hook. So now to start round 3, we're going to end off with the same amount of stitches that we did for round 2, and that will be 24. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the double crochet, and it's just going to be 1 double crochet around in each stitch. I'm going to cut off the old yarn later. Of course, we drop that, and we're going to start with the new yarn. And of course, as I said, give it a nice little tail because we're going to weave them in later. But I just want to continue showing you what to do. So take out the stitch marker, and then for that first stitch right there, you yarn over, and then you go into that stitch. And then you pull up a loop, and then you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over again, and pull across the first 2. There you go. 2 loops remaining on your hook, yarn over, and pull across those 2 to complete it. And that's your first double crochet, okay? So that's what we're going to be doing for row 3. 1 double crochet around. The next, I'll show you again, yarn over to the next stitch right there, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across 2, the first 2, 2 more remain on your hook, yarn over again and pull across those 2. Show you one more time, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across the first 2, and then yarn over and pull across the final 2 to complete it. So that's how you do the double crochet. So you're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch around, and remember it's going to be 24. So when you finish that row for round, it's round 3, I'll meet you there. Okay, finish with round 3. This is how we look. I think it looks cute like that. As I say, if you want to stop there, hey, great, but no, we're going to continue because it looks nice that way too. But anyway, let's continue for round 4. Take out your stitch marker, and now what we're going to do, the pattern is the double crochet front post. So yarn over, and that first double crochet that we have right there, although we took the stitch marker from up here, that's where we would have put in our next stitch if we were doing double crochet. But we're going to go around what's called the post, and the post is this part of it, this part right here. So that's what we're going to do, and this is the front double crochet post. So you take your hook, yarn over, go in the front. It doesn't look like you're going to the front, but that's what it's called. And then pull up a loop, so you have the regular 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull across the first 2, and then 2 remaining on your hook, yarn over and pull across. So it's the regular double crochet you're doing. Remember to put your stitch marker back in so we don't lose our spot, but it's just the area now that we're putting in. Now the pattern, this is the pattern for round 4. So now what we're going to do is called the double crochet back post. So you yarn over. Now what you're going to do is going to take your hook and you're going to go like go inside of our little socks, go inside, take the hook, wrap it around so you came out, and then take it and let it go through, because we're going to the post, the big part of the stitch that we made the double crochet. And then you're going to pull across and keep the hook like down, because that makes it a little easier for you to kind of grab it out. And there you go, you have your 3 loops on your hook. Okay, and then yarn over, pull across the first 2, then yarn over to complete it, pull across the final 2. So that's the pattern. So you're going to do 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post. I'll do a couple with you so you can see it. Yarn over, front post, see your needle come out, pull it up, yarn over. This way it's easy. The front post is easier to do, I find. But the back post, you just take your time with it. It's a little funny when you're doing it because you're not used to doing it that way. And then go inside your slipper, your socks, and then let your hook come out, pull a loop across, make sure you have your 3 loops. Okay, you're doing the double crochet. Yarn over, pull across, and that's it. So you did another back, another front. I hope I'm showing you good so you can see. All right, now another back, go inside, see your hook come out, wrap around, pull up a loop. Trying to go slow too so you could see it. Yarn over, pull across the first 2, yarn over, pull across those other. And of course when you finish you're going to have your 24 stitches. So on the completion of round 24, you're going to have the front post, the back post. I'll do one more set with you so you can see, okay? So front, and then the back. So this is the pattern, remember. So the back, go in, come out, yarn over, take your time with it, yarn over, pull across the first 2, and then complete it by pulling. So that's the pattern. And that's how we look so far. So when you finish that, I'll meet you back at the stitch marker. So now for round 4, we completed our last back post double crochet. So now for round 5 and 6, we're going to do the same thing that we did for round 4. So I'll show you again. Take out your stitch marker. We're going to do the pattern is the front post. All right, yarn over, front post, double crochet. Just do the regular double crochet. It's our first one. And of course, whenever you're finished, you're always going to end off with the back post double crochet and your 24 stitches. So you're going to do this for round 5 that we're starting and 6, and I'll meet you there. I'll meet you back at the stitch marker when you finish those rows, okay? So the back post again, yarn over, go inside, come out in the front, and then pull up a loop. There you go. 3 loops, yarn over, pull across. First 2, that's it. So keep on doing that pattern. So the next one will be the front. See the back there, the front and the back, and front and back. And when you complete it, you get to the stitch marker, I'll meet you there. Okay, so we completed round 5 and round 6 almost. Why I say that? Because we have that last stitch that we're going to do. It's the double back post we're going to do. And why I saved it, because we're going to change our color here. I showed you how to change the color yarn already earlier, but I'll show you again. So just, we're going to start to do the last back post, and I'll show you where we're going to change the color yarn, okay? So complete, just pull across. So when we're going to complete now that last double back post crochet, we're going to change to our main color yarn. So give it a nice little tail, and then just loop over your hook and pull across, and that's it. And that's the completion of round 6. I'm going to cut off the white, or I should say the cream, later on and tuck it later on, but I just want to continue showing you what to do next. So now what we're going to do for round 7, and this is our last round to do, take out our stitch marker, because we have it on the top, or we would have put a regular or single crochet. So we're not going to do the back post, front post anymore design. We're just going to do one regular single crochet. So right there where we had our stitch marker, and then just pull up two, you have 2 loops on your hook, pull up again another loop, and that's it, how you do your single crochet. Put your stitch marker back in so you don't lose your spot. So you're just going to do one single crochet around the top, and you're going to have your 24 stitches. So when you finish that, I'll meet you back at the stitch marker and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we completed putting in our 24 single crochet on the top, and we had our same hook. We didn't change our hook, so you know. And this is where we started from. So now we're going to cut off our yarn. How are we going to do that? Because this is our last round to do. You're going to just, you just finish that single crochet. Don't make a chain, and just pull up a nice little loop. How we're going to weave it in. I like to give it a nice little tail, so I know I have enough to weave it in. Never hurt to, because we have enough yarn when we finish from what we had used to start our sock slipper. Okay, so just cut it off, and I grab my yarn needle and I'll show you what to do next. So I have my yarn needle and I attached it to my yarn. So now you see where the stitch marker, why I left it there, so I could show you what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to hide as much as we can our completion work. Okay, so skip that one that we have the stitch marker in, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through, like we're going to make another single crochet here, go through the 2 loops and pull across. Okay, and then you're going to skip again where we had the stitch marker, and we're going to go back to where we have our yarn coming from, and we go through the top and just go through like the back loop of it, and then pull across. Take out your stitch marker now. Okay, there you go. So it's like we're making another single crochet on the top so we could hide it. It makes it looks nice when we close it up. See, I think it came out nice on top. So now we're going to start weaving in and hide it inside. And that's it. And keep on weaving in, hide it in, and from where we had the white, the cream again, say, and the navy blue meet up, I like to just give it a little knot so they hold together nicely, and then just do the same, weave it in, hide it in as best as you can, and that's all we're going to do. Hide it and all the other tails that we have, and then of course I'm going to show you how to close up our heel. That's the next step. So I have closed up our original pattern that we did. This is one I just mocked up so you could see, because I don't know if you could see the darker color navy that we were doing. I wanted you to see exactly how we're going to close it up, so that's why I changed. And I cut off like about 15 to 20 inches, so we have enough. Okay, so I hope you could see good. All right, we're working on that. So we're going to attach it from over in the back, go into it, because our yarn is not attached. Keep a little tail, and then And then that first, like single crochet right there, we're going to go underneath the loops, the 2 loops that we have. And it's like the mattress stitch. And this is just, and of course you will use the color yarn to match the color that you're using, the main color, so they will match up. But here I'm using different color, so you see a difference. Okay, so now you're gonna, and this is called the mattress stitch. So you're gonna go back over and underneath, and now you're gonna go back across underneath those 2 loops, and then come back across underneath the loops, and then back over underneath the loops. And while we go, we're just going to tug it a little bit, and of course it won't show because you're going to be using the color that matches up. And then back across. So it's just like you're lacing up your shoe, and then back across underneath, back across. So that's all we're going to do. Under and under those 2 loops, under, and I'm going to give it a tug in a minute so you can see. Under, and then pull. So you're going to pull as you go along and make sure it closes up. So when you do this, it matches the color yarn that you have, and then it will hide your stitches as you go. Okay, so there you go. And of course we're going to tuck it inside, so poke it in, and then we're going to weave it in, and that's what you're going to do. And then of course you weave it in, and it, you know, the socks could bend, so you could weave it in, it's not going to have a problem. And that's how you close up your heel for your cozy sock slipper. Okay, so I hope you got that part. So I wanted you to, because it's kind of hard to show what exactly I was doing here, but this is our completed work. So that's it. We're completed doing our cozy socks slipper. I think they came out pretty nice. I think you did great work. It looks really cool. And of course, the fit is also nice and snug, keep you nice and warm. So let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know. Thank you for watching once again. Bye-bye.